Mia stood in her modest suburban home, the soft hum of the heater filling the quiet evening. She glanced at her reflection in the hallway mirror, smoothing a stray lock of hair and taking one last deep breath. It had been years since she'd gone on a date, years of putting her daughter first, years of telling herself she wasn't ready. But tonight felt different. A gentle knock at the door snapped her from her thoughts. Her heart pounded as she walked to answer, each step a mix of excitement and nerves. She pulled the door open, her practiced smile ready. Standing there was a man, tall with kind eyes, but there was something in his gaze, a flicker of hesitation, maybe even fear. They exchanged a polite greeting, but before she could invite him in, he leaned slightly closer, his voice low and almost apologetic. "My kids are in the car." Mia froze, unsure what to say. The words hung in the air, heavier than she expected. Her mind raced. Was this a red flag, a misunderstanding, or something else entirely? She glanced past him toward the driveway and saw the faint outline of a car, two small silhouettes in the back seat. The children's faces pressed against the glass, watching quietly. In that instant, Mia felt her curiosity shift into something warmer, compassion. She didn't know the whole story yet, but she knew one thing: this night was about to become far more than just a simple blind date. Mia stepped onto the porch, the cool evening air brushing against her skin. She looked toward the car again, the streetlight casting a soft glow over it. Two small faces peered out from the back seat, their eyes wide, a mix of shyness and uncertainty. They didn't wave, just watched, as if unsure whether they were welcome. The man shifted on his feet, his hands buried deep in his coat pockets. His voice was quiet, almost fragile, as he spoke. "I didn't want to leave them alone tonight. Their mom, she's not in the picture anymore." He paused, swallowing hard, his gaze dropping to the ground for a moment. "I didn't know if I should tell you before coming, but I couldn't get a sitter. And I couldn't cancel." Mia felt her chest tighten. There was no arrogance or expectation in his tone, just an honest vulnerability. She noticed the way his shoulders seemed weighed down, not just from the cold, but from years of carrying more than one person should. Her eyes moved back to the children, their small hands resting against the glass, breaths fogging the window. She could almost feel their uncertainty from where she stood. This wasn't the evening she'd pictured, no quiet dinner, no soft background music, but something in her heart whispered that maybe it was exactly the evening it was meant to be. In that moment, the awkwardness melted into an unspoken understanding between two people who knew what it meant to put their children first. Mia took a slow step toward the car, her heels clicking softly on the driveway. The man followed, clearly unsure if she'd turn him away or scold him for bringing his kids along. But when she reached the car, she didn't frown. She crouched down so she was eye level with the little faces inside. "Hi there," she said gently, her voice warm. "I'm Mia. I just made a fresh batch of cookies, and I think I made too many." She tilted her head, pretending to think. "Maybe you could help me eat them?" The children exchanged a quick glance, their eyes lighting up just a little. A quiet giggle slipped from the younger one, while the older still hesitated, clutching a small stuffed animal. The man's brow softened, relief mixing with surprise. "I wasn't expecting," he began, but his voice trailed off as he watched her smile at his kids like they were already part of the evening. "You can all come inside," Mia said simply, standing and opening the car door for them. "No one should have to wait in the cold." The kids stepped out slowly, bundled in jackets too big for them, their steps tentative but drawn toward the promise of cookies and warmth. The man met her eyes, gratitude clear even without words. Mia knew she had just shifted the night's course entirely, but it felt right. Instead of a date for two, it was going to be a night for four, and maybe something even more meaningful. Inside, the air was warm and filled with the sweet smell of fresh-baked cookies. Mia led them to the living room, where her daughter was already curled up on the carpet with a coloring book. The moment the kids saw her, the awkwardness began to fade. Within minutes, crayons were scattered across the floor, and laughter started to replace the silence. Mia set a plate of cookies on the coffee table, the chocolate chips still gooey. The man sat across from her, his posture slowly relaxing as they began to talk. What started as small talk quickly turned into something deeper. They spoke about long nights comforting sick children, the quiet panic of bills stacking up, and the bittersweet joy of watching their kids grow without a partner by their side. Mia noticed how his eyes lit up when he mentioned his children's dreams, and he noticed how her voice softened when she spoke of her daughter's courage. There was no pretension here, no perfect image to uphold. Just two parents, worn but strong, sharing a rare moment of understanding. The children's laughter became the soundtrack to their conversation, blending with the soft hum of the heater and the gentle clinking of coffee mugs. For the first time in years, Mia didn't feel like she was explaining herself or proving her worth. By the time she realized, she was smiling, not the polite smile she had prepared for a first date, but the kind that comes when you feel truly seen. The night wound down quietly, the cookies reduced to a few crumbs on the plate and the children yawning between bursts of playful chatter. Mia helped them gather their coats while her daughter waved goodbye, already asking when they could come over again. At the door, the man lingered, his kids waiting patiently by the car. There was a softness in his expression now, the guarded uncertainty from earlier replaced with something warmer, trust. He took a slow breath, his voice low but steady. "Thank you, for seeing us, not just me." Mia felt her chest tighten at the sincerity in his words. It wasn't about the cookies or the conversation, it was about the fact that she hadn't treated his children like an inconvenience. She had welcomed them as if they belonged there. She watched as they walked to the car, the kids climbing in with sleepy smiles. The taillights glowed red as the car pulled away, disappearing into the quiet street. For a moment, she stood there in the doorway, the cool air brushing against her face. A strange, unexpected warmth filled her chest, not the flutter of a new romance, but something deeper. She realized that life had a way of surprising you, not with grand gestures, but with moments like this, moments that reminded you that kindness could change more than just one night. As she closed the door, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that she hadn't just opened her home that evening. She might have opened the door to a new kind of family.